All right, hi friends. We're here today to answer one of the questions that I get asked the most on social media, which is, what is the deal with the things that we wear? Why am I putting on like 3 layers every Sunday? And I thought I would bring in someone who knows a lot about all of that to help talk about it. So Stephen, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself a little bit and where we're at?
Yes, my name is Stephen Crippen. I am the priest in charge, also called rector, here at St. Paul's Episcopal Church in Seattle, Washington. I've been here about 3 years. St. Paul's is one of the churches that you could call an Anglo-Catholic congregation, which is to say, as Episcopalians, we're in comfortable relationship with the Roman Catholic Church, but for Anglo-Catholic congregations, we're even more intentionally Catholic in a lot of the things that we do. And so when you come into our building, you'll smell incense, and you'll sense pretty quickly that we tend toward what is casually called high church. And I have problems with that term because it implies that there are low churches, and that seems a little negative. But it's one of those places where you can smell the liturgy and you can taste the liturgy with real bread, and you can hear a choir and hear plain chant and all kinds of things. And so naturally, we have a lot of garments to wear when we pray.
So we're going to look at the capsule wardrobe, if you will, of what a clergy would wear and everyone who does worship on a Sunday. And then we'll look at all the fun extras you have because of your particular congregation.
Sure.
All right, let's get into it.
Sounds good. Should we start with the basic?
The basic, the very basic. All right.
All right.
So, Stephen, this is your alb.
That's right. So alb is the name of this garment, A-L-B, which means white. So it just means a white robe.
We wear this. Lots of people wear this on a Sunday morning.
Yes.
But almost everyone up at the altar is wearing this in some way,
Yes.
shape, or form. And this is the basis of what most clergy are wearing if we're doing a Eucharistic service.
That's right. So this is a Eucharistic garment, which is to say, if we are having a liturgy of Holy Communion, you would wear an alb. But if you're doing daily prayer at a different time of the day, like morning prayer, noonday, evening prayer, compline, and so on, you would wear some combination of these garments. So underneath is a black cassock. And so you can imagine that you're Ichabod Crane and it's Halloween night if you're wearing your black cassock. Over that is what's called a surplice, S-U-R-P-L-I-C-E, a surplice, which also has the baptismal garment vibe going for it. It is giving baptism, as it were. And then this is a tippet. So it's like a stole, and it just matches really well. So this is a cassock, surplice, and tippet that I would wear and do wear, like on Wednesdays at noon at St. Paul's when we say the noonday prayer office on Wednesdays.
And if you were doing a wedding or a funeral without communion, a clergy would wear this.
And you could swap this out and put a stole on. So, yeah. So
this is what cuts are for.
If you want, you can wear this with a stole. So at a wedding, I would want to wear a happy stole like this. And that would be a great way to officiate a wedding that doesn't have Holy Communion.
Now, someone might say, hey, I've seen someone wear an alb and a stole at a service that doesn't have communion. And that happens.
Yeah.
People who maybe aren't as rigid is the wrong word.
Yeah, but it could be one of those things that you notice and decide consciously not to care about.
Or for your context or your community's tradition, it's what makes sense. So this is the tradition. That doesn't mean it's going to be absolutely what you see at every single place, right?
And every once in a while you'll make a mistake. Like every once in a long while, maybe not so long, I have been sitting in a service and have realized that I'm wearing the wrong thing. And you just keep sitting there because you're still praying.
God is still worshipped.
It's abundant grace.
Yeah. When do lay people wear this?
They can wear this whenever we're doing morning noontime, evening prayer, bedtime prayer. So the daily office.
So this is not a garment for clergy?
It is not a garment for clergy.
No.
You can wear this at a Eucharist if you are in the mood, and or if you are from a tradition that isn't so into albs. Mm-hmm. And so as a priest, I have sometimes worn cassock and surplice with a stole at an ordination liturgy, mm-hmm. where I'm not presiding, I'm not assisting at the table, so I'm at a liturgy of Holy Eucharist, but I'm not wearing an alb because I'm just wearing the garments that work for that situation. So there's all these little nuances and tricks of the trade.
Yeah. And there are times where we might just wear a cassock as well.
Yes.
Right? Should we talk about that at all?
So you could wear just a cassock.
Could we show off just the cassock?
Yeah. You could wear just the cassock.
When you need your Severus Snape moment.
That's right. Or if it is a solemn, like let's say that it is Holy Saturday, the day before Easter Day, and you're saying the office for Holy Saturday, which is very spare and simple and kind of severe with lamentations in it. You might just wear this. Also, in the history at St. Paul's, we have had folks do the daily office routinely just wearing a cassock. It is legit. And then we would wear a surplice on a brighter day. If it's a Tuesday and it's the Feast of the Epiphany and you're doing morning prayer at St. Paul's, let's say, you would probably want to wear a surplice because it's a feast day. Mm-hmm. So the surplice is just a little more bling. That being said, you could wear this surplice on Holy Saturday. Mm-hmm. It's not a hard and fast rule, and I tend to, personally, I resist rules that make us more glum. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we'll choose to be quieter or more mellow or more sad or more lamenting, but I don't want to do that because a rule book said I have to look depressing.
Mm-hmm. And this is not funeral garb, because our funerals are celebrations.
Yes, that's right. They are Easter liturgies. Mm-hmm. So this would be more appropriate to wear at a funeral.
Let's go to our Sunday morning look.
This can also be worn like as a thing you wear at the office if you're that kind of priest or at that kind of congregation. So we had a priest here for a time who would wear this to work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in seminary, I want to say we had one evening prayer service where like everyone wore a cassock, even if they were sitting in the pews.
Yeah.
So Sunday mornings, or for a Eucharist, I guess is a better way to say it. What is a priest wearing? First, we start with our base layer.
This is the alb.
In addition to most clergy wear their collar underneath when they're doing liturgical hours.
Collar here. If it's a cold day, I keep my sweater on.
There are some clergy that choose to not wear a collar for a lot of reasons, and that's a whole nother thing.
And I just put this on like a shirt. It's like a big shirt.
There are other styles that have sort of a crossover, but
this is an over-the-head way. So Worcester knit.
Here comes stand center.
Concelebration alb from Holy Rood Guild. This is a rope. So an ordinary, well-socialized person would just call this a rope. But in church world, we call it a cincture. C-I-N-T-U-R-E, a cincture. And the cincture goes around the waist to sort of hold you all together, to hold your alb together. It's a better fit for an alb of this style.
So this is the crossover style without a hood, and I don't know this
maybe
one
our shortest cincture in the house.
I appreciate it though. I'm used to cinctures that I have to wrap 10 times around myself to get anywhere close. So you can see this just crosses over, has pockets.
Right out of a clue game.
There are lots of ways to tie this, and different people have different styles, but you can see, do something like that, and it helps keep this part from flapping open.
Yeah.
all the time. But I also prefer, if I'm going to be wearing stuff over it, to not have an if I'm going to wear a chasuble, I really don't like wearing a cincher.
I like this style because it has big sleeves, so I can reach in here and turn my microphone on. And I just have a lot of room to maneuver.
And so this is also what most of our lay folks at the altar are wearing as well. So Eucharistic ministers, the crucifer, and then sometimes we'll have different looks for our acolytes and things depending on age and what set of vestments you've inherited at your congregation.
So at an ordination you would come, if you're the person being ordained, you would come wearing this, and then these burdens are laid upon you. The stole is laid upon you as a limit to your freedom and as a burden of your call as a baptized Christian. But we all share this identity.
Well, let's show the stole next.
Okay, so we have lots of different colors, and the colors are related to different times of year. And the color of deep blue or indigo or purple, like that sort of range of cool colors, is one we associate with the 4 Sundays before Christmas. We call that the season of Advent. And I'm just going to put the hood up so that I can get the stole on. And now I'm wearing a stole. And you're going to tell me different reasons why a stole is what it is. The one that I like is that the stole is like wearing the yoke of Christ. It's like a yoke. And so Jesus says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me." His yoke is gentle, his burden is light, but it is nevertheless a burden. And so in a way, when I put the stole on, I feel like I am taking on the yoke of Christ. If I'm a deacon, it goes a little bit differently. So the deacons have a stole that is more like a sash. And one way to remember it, if you're a Star Trek fan, is that it's the other way from the way Worf wears his deacon stole.
That's how I remember everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so a deacon has a stole that goes this way. And one interpretation of that is that this shoulder and arm are free of the yoke so that you can do the work of service. Deacons are a servant calling. And so the stole for a deacon looks like that.
So the stole in either form is a symbol of ordination.
That's right.
It is a symbol of someone having taken vows of service, whether it's a deacon, whether it's a priest, or whether it's a bishop. A bishop will also wear their stole in the way that a priest does. And so if we are doing a ministry, whether it's Eucharistic or not, this is how we symbolize, I love that language of yoke, and how you can sort of identify who's at the altar and who's doing what. And you'll often see clergy kiss the stole before they put it on as a symbol of reverence and respect. You'll see this in other services or places too, where they might pass around a Bible during the service that everyone kisses or reverences or genuflects. And so the stole in particular is one of our symbols, I think, that we show a lot of intentionality with, though it's not required.
Also, a lot of stoles will have the cross at the middle, like right at the top of the stole. And so when you kiss the stole that has a cross on it, you're kissing the cross. It's like an adoration of the cross.
Yeah, it's called the kissing cross on the stole.
Yeah.
And so we have this. So this is what you would be wearing if you're not, well, you could be celebrating the Eucharist in some traditions. Generally, this is what is worn by someone if they're not the celebrant, but the preacher or other clergy, if you are doing the full range of outfits.
Right.
So this is our preacher look.
And here we have the chasuble. And I wonder if the best way to show people what this is first is to hold it up so that you can see that it's a big circle. It's a big donut because I have to get my head through it. But it's more round than it would be if it were a shirt.
And it's a poncho. There's no sleeves on it.
This isn't exactly on right. Hold on.
Some churches, they have people that vest you, that know what they're
Well, and then there's a little X, which
Ah.
means the back of the garment.
doing. So this is a handmade set by someone
Yes.
for you all.
So find the X. X marks the spot. There, that's better. So this is the Advent chasuble. If I'm wearing this, it means that I am presiding at the table. The chasuble is associated with the garment of Christ, our high priest, and how they cast lots for a seamless garment. And so it has that evocation for us. This is like our seamless garment. It does not mean that the priest is Christ. That is heresy and laughable. It's that the priest represents Christ to the people and represents the people to Christ.
Generally, this would be worn by the person who is celebrating the Eucharist. There are some services where you will see multiple priests wearing a chasuble, which might include having people con-celebrating. It could be an ordination, because when we're ordained, we get vested by
That's right.
our loved ones,
That's right.
and then you have a bunch of people running around in chasubles. But generally, on an ordinary Sunday, there's one person wearing this who is a priest or a bishop. So.
Yeah.
Well, you have a collection, so we're gonna let you give us a tour.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.